what trends do you see right now? Because people like you, Ginny D, Legends of Ventress, you guys are just locked in. Like, your whole job as a creator is to see what video does well. Like, you're looking at analytics all the time. People from the outside see you making these like great critiques of like game mechanics and stuff like that, but you're really just a business owner at the same time. Like, you just have to be aware of what's happening all the time.
So, okay, this is going to be something that I don't love, but it is something that is happening. Monty and I have recently decided to kind of switch up some of the ways we have done thumbnails and titling.
Yeah.
Our subclass tier rankings and our class videos are always going to be the staple on our channel. They always do well, but a lot of our other videos don't tend to get quite as many views. And so every once in a while, Monty and I, we always like to do a nuanced take of anything that we're going to talk about. But sometimes we make the title a bit more aggressive than our nuanced take, and we make the thumbnail. So, for example, ban multiclassing in D&D, why you should ban multiclassing in D&D, was a title that I think got a lot of heat. When really, if you watch the video, we're like, here are 5 reasons why you might be banning multiclassing. We don't do it at our table, but you might. But like, people see the title, and it blew up. And so really, I think, unfortunately, this is going to be a conversation about the internet in general. A lot of people are thriving on like negativity in the social spaces.
Yeah.
And I'm not a very negative person. I don't like putting negativity out there.
Yeah.
But I have to be aware of the fact that if we do a title of being like, why this thing sucks, and you put "sucks" in capital letters, people are like, "Ooh, I'm going to watch that. I want the tea."
Right.
And it's just something that we've had to learn, is like, that's the way the internet's going. So probably about once a month, we're like, okay, what's our hot take this month? Like, what are we going to talk about that is something that's gonna get, because like our core audience, we love them, and they're going to be there, and they watch our videos, and we can talk about like the tiniest little thing that we want to talk about, and our core audience is going to be there. But at the same time, we are a business, so it's like, how do you capture a new audience? Unfortunately, right now, that's videos that have a bold title, and that is how you get new people in, and then hopefully they watch the video and go, oh, I really like these nuanced takes, and then they watch the other videos that we make.
What's funny about what you just mentioned is, if you're getting comments about like your hot take, but they're like, I can't believe you said that, but then you can tell they didn't watch the video. So you really don't need to stress out that much. Like, the people who are getting upset, I'm like, well, you didn't watch the video, so you have no idea.
One trend that I also am seeing, at least on the actual play side of the equation, I think that a lot of actual play is exploring predominantly comedic and lighthearted tones for the most part. And part of that just is the experience of a role-playing game is always going to have this slightly like, I'm pretending to be an elf thing, so I might as well joke about it.
Yeah.
And so and there's so much fun and funny thing and fun and humor that we can explore with these games, especially because when you roll a 1, like, you have to laugh. At the same time, I really would like to see a lot more actual play that is exploring maybe some darker and more serious themes. It's harder to do that because you need a lot of trust amongst the players, and you need the trust of your audience as well to go there. But like, what does the Breaking Bad of D&D actual play look like? Like an actual play where like. There's not a lot of things to laugh about in the show, but it's just gripping in terms of that. And that's what I would like to see is something that is, instead of, because we see a lot of like high concept humor, but I'd be really, really curious to see more drama.
Yeah, like the Peaky Blinders of role-playing.
Yeah. And I think that it's challenging because I think that a lot of people who are performing in the space are very big personalities, and we love to have fun, and all of us want to laugh and we want to have a good time. But yeah, I that's been something in the back of my mind, because I have felt, especially with our group for Drakenheim, like we have a lot of trust between us and in our group, and we all want to have fun. But I think one of the things that I've learned about doing actual play and playing with a group for 10 years is once you've built up that foundation of trust and understanding and you all know each other, you can tell some really serious stories with role-playing games, and you can go to some pretty emotional places. And so I had this thought even at our live game here at Gen Con last night. Like, people go to a Gen Con show and they want to laugh at a Gen Con actual play, but I would really like to make the audience cry. Like, how can we like get there? Would be a really cool thing to try. And I know maybe that might not be the most like click views thing, but I do think that like we are working in a medium that has artistic merit, and I would be interested. Maybe it's just because I played Claire Obscure and like a video game making me cry was like, yes. But that's been on my mind.
I wanted to add to that. We had an amazing experience, I think, last year with a few friends at Gamehole Con, where we were asked to play 10 Candles. And I went into that game just being like, okay, here's another little goofy one-shot. Like, we had come from playing Pirate Board, which was also amazing, but everybody was a punchline. Like, every line was a joke. So I went into the 10 Candles game, and we were given our instructions to, like, record a message in character. I don't know if you've ever played 10 Candles.
No, I haven't, but I've watched 10 Candles.
Yeah, so, and we were in a room with a bunch of friends that are, like, funny and light people. And then there wasn't a laugh the entire game. Everybody took it so seriously.
Yeah.
It was so dramatic and so sad. And one by one, our characters were dying, and they were playing the recordings, and it was brutal. And at the end, I was like, that was one of the greatest role-playing games like that I've experienced. And just, we weren't even on camera, but like everybody, it was that distilled, focused moment. And I was like, I'm so proud of that group of people for going into that room and being like, let's do it. Let's be serious. Let's have this story.
Speaking to like what the why of it for comedy in D&D, it's right now also it's the social media of it all. Like, it's easy to clip funny.
Yes.
Yeah, for YouTube Shorts, for TikTok, performs fantastic, but drama is very hard to do in 60 seconds. I did have Megan and I, when we DM'd together at D&D in a castle, to what you're talking about, because it's such a visceral emotion that you have when you're dungeon mastering. We had set it up so someone would have to sacrifice themselves to get this artifact and to basically save the world, and this person made the choice, and everyone was crying that they made this choice. And it just, the fact that you're having this visceral emotion and everyone around the table was just like losing it.
Yeah.
And it started out funny, but it ended on this super dark note, and this player just made this huge sacrifice, and then they happened to have the deck of many things, and they all decided to pull from the deck to hope to get the wish spell to resurrect him. And they all pulled from the deck, and one went to the donjon, one like teleported somewhere else, one person died, and then they pulled the wish.
Wow.
Hard.
That's something else.
It was just nuts. So I want to see that. I would love to see more drama.
I mean, I'm also someone that's a very big fan of like postmodern tragicomedy, and so for me, I as a theater person, I always do think of like.
What does that mean, like Severance? Which Severance role-playing game is like meta.
Well, when I say tragicomedy, I often been thinking like Harold Pinter and Samuel Beckett.
Oh yeah,
right,
okay.
like something that and when I think of postmodernism, that's a lot of the, at least, I'm definitely misclassifying things. I'm a bad academic, but I think that I've always enjoyed the idea of things that exist between laughter and tears.
Yeah.
And the ability to go from laughing about something to crying about something to laughing about something again is really cool. And that's just something that's been creatively on my mind of how can we explore more of that? Because we've been able to do that sometimes in Drakkenheim, and so I've always those have always stood out to me as some of the best moments in our games.
Just to add to that, I do think that when we're talking about this topic, comedy always has a place. Like sometimes, like even Breaking Bad had a few moments where you're like bursting out laughing. Like there are some funny scenes in that show, but overall, you would not call that show a comedy.
No.
And I do think that like our show is pretty funny, but
I would also add that Bryan Cranston was an amazing comedic
Yes.
person.
have
right?
you seen? Okay, now I just want to talk about the last 2 episodes of The Studio. Have you guys seen The Studio?
He's a mess in that.
Oh man, the last 2 episodes, I was like, give Bryan Cranston all the awards
Dude,
for that performance.
he is a genius. And what's funny is like I didn't always love Malcolm in the Middle. He was hilarious in it.
He was the best part.
But it was sometimes a hard watch because it was such a frenetic show. It was kind of like almost a lot of TV became very screamy back then. But like he is so funny in that, and you forget that shift to Breaking Bad, and then to see him at the Studio was insane.
That was the reminder that like he still can do comedy
For like 2 hours straight.
But yeah, I think that like even in our show, like Joe used to be a stand-up comedian, so like we do have those. We have a lot of punchlines, a lot of gags, a lot of jokes, but the tone and the story that we're telling is very serious, and the players are all willing to go there. And so I think even if you are playing at a table, that like there's going to be jokes, you're going to have fun. But I think the more tables, you shouldn't be afraid of like digging into the more serious tones amongst your comedic moments.
A huge thank you to the Dungeon Dudes. They are a font of knowledge and information and enthusiasm about this industry, and I was really happy to get to sit down with them and have an interview. We'll have more of that interview coming up. If you want to support videos like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Also, there are memberships on YouTube as well that support the channel, and I have a Patreon. That allows me to fly around the country, conduct interviews like this, make more videos, buy gear, and also create playtest materials for games like Daggerheart or Dungeons & Dragons. Thank you so much for watching.